What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Stella Herself podcast. Thank you for all the support, as always, these past few weeks. And don't forget to screenshot this, post it to your story, tag me, or take a really cute... I've been loving the really cute aesthetic boomerangs of y'all with your laptops or your TVs or in your car listening. Like, I just love an IG, like a cute IG story, period. But then when it's like my very own podcast, that's like so cute. Or a video or whatever. Like, I fucking love that. And I know I say it every time, but it's cool also to like put a face or like a person to who listens. Because, you know, I can go in my analytics and look at like the amount of people that listen to this episode or this episode, but it's kind of just like, okay. Like, okay. But when it's like an IRL person, it's like, bitch, me too. And I was actually kind of thinking about this. Well, we're going to get into this topic. I am recording this podcast in advance, so I don't know if there's going to be any new developments, but we're going to be talking about like the whole David Dobrik bullshit. But I was watching a little Frenemies clip where they were talking about it earlier. And I just kind of realized, like, dude, being, like, famous must just, like, suck. Because, like, I just kind of was reflecting, and I was like, I don't think I want to be like that. And, like, I don't want people ever to, like, idolize me like that. Because I was just thinking about how, like, a celebrity or an influencer, a really famous influencer or a famous person can do, like, terrible things. And then their fans will just, like, blindly support them. Like, oh my God, they would never do that. We're going to get into that. Or like, oh no, like, I know that, like, I don't know. I am just glad to not feel that way towards any fucking celebrity or anything. But also I was like, I don't think I would want that. Like, I feel like for me, it's always pretty much been more about like sharing my thoughts or like sharing my life in hopes that I can like inspire someone else to live their best life or that they relate. Like, I feel like it's like we're on this same level. It's not like I want to be like, yeah, I'm better than all of you and that's why you watch me because I am like just the best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like this, I know I've talked about it before, just like celebrity culture, and I think I've talked about it more in the sense of, you know, celebrities promoting just like wealth and greed and like overconsumption of resources and whatever, and how we like idolize that, and then the scam of capitalism is like, well, if you just work hard enough, maybe you'll get there too. And it's like, it's not like they're working that hard. Anyway, that's a different subject. But as far as like thinking, like as a fan or as just a regular person, like thinking of someone as better than you or on like more of a pedestal than you, like higher up than you in terms of value to society or whatever, I just really disagree with that. And I never want to be like, yeah, well, I saw someone tweet it once, but it's like any celebrity is just like the rest of us, except they just have a different job. Okay, so, you know, your favorite singer, they're just a regular person. That's just their job. They sing, they go home at the end of the day, just like anyone else. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for the support, and I really fuck with our community. You know, she's small, but I love her. I love y'all. And I just really appreciate, you know, everyone that's buying the merch, wholesome, links below, and who listens, and whatever. Like, even if you leave a comment, like, that's just, it really makes my day, so thank you. I wanted to do a quick beverage haul. I have a green smoothie. Every time I go to Whole Foods, I swear to God, all the bananas are, like, pure green. And I just feel like that's a little annoying. They should at least have a little section where they have the bananas from last week or something, because who the fuck... Like, if I go grocery shopping, it's like because I want to eat it that week. I don't want to wait a week. What do? Buy 2 bananas? Anyway, I'm having one of the... It's not pure green at this point. It's just like a pure yellow. It's like I like a yellow where it has a few spots. I don't like a pure spotty... I mean, It's like if it gets to that point, yeah, I'll use it, whatever. But I usually like to use them when they're kind of like just a few spells, you know? Anyway, so pray for me right now. But I did put like chia seeds in it and a couple other things, like green juice powder. I had kale earlier. Hopefully it's not a big deal. I think last time I did this, because it's been a few like weeks in a row where they only have green bananas. I think it was fine, but... And then I have a Starbucks because the day I'm recording this is Friday, and I'm doing a little, you know, I don't know if y'all have the Starbucks app, but they do little things where it's like, oh, if you get these 2 beverages, you get like all these extra bonus points. So I got an espresso. Bitch, 2 shots of espresso over ice, and I did get a splash of oat milk, and it's like $2.65. And then you just come home, add a little bit more water. It has the vibes that I want. Yeah. Where the fuck is my little notebook? I need to grab that. After this, I'm gonna go edit on my roof. I'm gonna make a vlog. It might already be up, but I made a vlog the other day about just how I was feeling kind of like the really intense lockdown days, like just that feeling of boredom and like mental exhaustion and loneliness. Like, oh my god, classic. But it was weird because I had just seen my friends a couple days ago, so it's like, is this just a withdrawals from like seeing people and then just being in the house, like stuck in that lockdown routine again? Even though it's not lockdown, ton of stuff's opening up. Let me know if you have been vaccinated or at least gotten like a first shot. I kind of need to like figure out, I don't know, I know that I'm just like not a priority, so I'm not really like pushing to get it. When it was first available, I think they changed some of it, so they changed some of the rules so it's more available, but hopefully I can do that soon. I definitely plan on it just because why the fuck not? And I feel like I've definitely seen way less. Well, I don't really follow anyone who would promote, oh, there's a microchip in the vaccine. Like, I would unfollow someone as soon as they posted something like that. So it's not like I really saw it to begin with. Like, I would mostly see people saying like, oh, you're dumb for thinking that way. A microchip in a syringe of liquid. But I would like get vaccinated just to fucking prove people wrong. Like, but obviously it's like, I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to like experience life. And I just feel like this is such a great precaution to take that can like just help you and so many other people around you. So if you have the opportunity to do it, definitely do it. I definitely plan on it. I don't even plan on talking about this right now, but whatever. Anyway, so I was just kind of feeling a little like, and I hate feeling like that, bro. Like, it's one thing. I feel like there's like, I don't know. I know when I am like feeling something emotionally, like something happens, or it's like I have an emotional reaction to something, or it's like almost something triggers me. Like even if in a light way, it's still like something happened, so then I reacted, or my emotions reacted and I felt this way. And then I feel like I've gotten to a point now where it's a lot easier for me to like identify the emotion and like work through it and use all the tools of like either calming myself down or letting it out or whatever. But this just felt like almost a boredom, like I just keep doing the same thing every day, so therefore it's like I'm kind of doing this to myself. Like I have this feeling of boredom, like almost an unfulfillment, like meh feeling, just because I am not really putting in any effort to like change it. So yesterday, and I was like, I should vlog this because I need to remind myself of this in the future when this happens. But yesterday I made a point to like do the things that I know make me feel better in like on like a physical level, because you know there's things like treat yourself, and sometimes it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. But things like going outside, fucking switching up your routine in like a small way, I do yoga most times, but I try to be like very present in my body and like in my breath. What else did I do? I feel like usually towards the end of the day, and I say this in the video, it's 11:11. Oh my god, make a wish. But that's usually like my panicking hours. Shout out to Lexi Lombard for coining that term. It was so funny when she tweeted that. I was like, it was a few months ago, but she was like 8 to 11 p.m. are my panicking hours, where like I need an activity to do or something, because otherwise I'm just gonna like spiral. So I definitely feel like towards the end of the day, that's my panicking hours. And I just start like, I don't know, it's like I don't have any tasks to do or activities. I don't have like that flow of like, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, check this off my to-do list. So it's just like, and then I just end up watching shows or YouTube or TikToks for like too long. So then yesterday I decided not to do that. I just watched a little bit of my show and instead like filmed this reel that I had been meaning to film. And I just felt so much more like energized, but also relaxed at the end of the day. Like literally at the end of yesterday, I just felt like calm, and I didn't have that certain kind of like tiredness that I experience when I'm just, you know, like in the house all day, like on my phone. You know what I mean? I just feel like I was able to relax a lot more for bed, and I was like, wow, I really did not even do that much. It was like I edited my video outside in the sun, like on my roof instead of right here. I went on a walk. I fucking just was a little more present in my breath. So it's just crazy like how far a little mindfulness can go. And then I also saw a TikTok that it's like, oh, when you're sad, but then you remember the expensive lifestyle you need to fucking fund. And all the comments are like, yeah, like I don't have time to be sad, you know, I need to like get the fuck. And, you know, obviously it's like we are not gonna fucking put money over. It's not like emotions are bad, you know? So if you're feeling sad or whatever, it's like I feel like there's a difference between like, again, an emotion that you can work through and like, I want to say be productive, but it's not really like about that, because sometimes you just have to like be with it and fucking chill. But there's a difference between like trying to work through it, or again, just like experiencing it, and then just like dwelling on something or feeling sorry for yourself or just like lying around on your phone for hours and hours. Like sometimes that's necessary, and sometimes that's the only thing that's really gonna help us cope with something. So I'm not saying like avoid that at all costs, but I just know the feeling I was feeling the other day, just this kind of like, fuck, like, like another day. Watching that TikTok really helped me snap out of it. And sometimes you just need that like mood change, vibe check. Sometimes you just need to go in the sun for a little bit, and you will physically like feel different, so therefore you feel better. Is this making sense? Because I'm not saying like, oh, just bury your emotions and never feel anything, and if you feel sad, that is so bad and that's preventing you from reaching your financial goals. But if you're having that like just dumb feeling, like I don't need to be feeling like this, like feeling like this is not benefiting me, like it's not helping me realize something, it's just, I don't know, it's just like I'm on my phone for too long, like I'm just consuming content and not actually doing something. And I want to say productive, but it could be literally like lying on the floor meditating, like just in silence, and that will make you feel so much better than just watching TikToks for another hour, you know? So just some thoughts, just some things that I was experiencing. Is Instagram down still? Instagram was down earlier and everyone was freaking out, including me. But yeah, so let me know if you know, or if you can relate to the feeling that I'm talking about, that like boredom, just meh feeling. It's like I feel like a zombie, basically. I kind of want to talk about the David stuff. So I am going to be talking about like more of a broader general thing. But trigger warning, dude, I'm going to fucking talk about unconsensual experiences. So if that triggers you, don't listen to it. But I just kind of wanted to share some of my thoughts. But yeah, I just want to put a little warning because it's like a very heavy subject. So basically, you know, there was this article that came out on Business Insider that was about Dirty Dom and David, and like this vlog from a few years ago where he had I think it was a threesome. And now, fucking years later, it's definitely, I think that was like in 2018 maybe, but one of the girls is finally, like, her story's out there and she's able to, like, share that, you know, that wasn't what she wanted, to put it lightly in YouTube friendly terms, you know? So you can, like, read that if you want, or, like, H3 did a video on it. Trisha Paytas has talked a lot about it. They've talked about it on Frenemies. I just find this whole subject, especially with, like, even before this came out, just the stuff about David and everything, like, I just find it so fascinating because I definitely watched so many of their, like, all of their vlogs, you know, when Trish was in them, and just, like, back in the day, like, 2017, 2018, I feel like, you know, it was, like, very entertaining, and it's just crazy, like, I just remember watching his vlogs, and sometimes it would be like, is this real? Or, like, is this allowed? Or, like, is everyone, like, okay with this? Like, are they in on this, or do they not know? And then it's like, well, it's just, like, you know, it's like, well, no one else seems to have a problem with it, or, like, whatever. So, whatever, I guess that's it. Like, he never had any controversies. So I kind of love that this is happening right now. Obviously, not that it happened to the people that it happened to, but I just am glad that people are coming forward and sharing their stories. And I ultimately love the downfall of someone who is ultimately evil. And, yeah. So I find it interesting, though, that, like, as this stuff comes out, like, oh, he did this to this person against their consent, he did this to these girls against their consent, whatever. It's like their friends, their bros step forward and are tweeting or making videos, like, that's so out of character for them, like, they would never do that. One of them was, like, tweeted something that was basically like, I don't condone, you know, these unconsensual experiences. Like, if I was in a room where that was going to happen, I would prevent it from happening. And that really stood out to me because I feel like that's such a common phrase used by bros, by boys, by men when something like this comes out, especially when it comes out against one of their friends, because, well, I just feel like we're kind of taught to see the R word, or what do they say, SA, as, like, done by this scary, villainous man who's, like, evil and, I don't know, like, just a classic villain in, like, a movie. You know, it happens in a dark alley. Like, it's just crazy, like, this dramatic thing. And I feel like the reality of it for so many people, for so many women, is that it is someone you know. It is someone that you thought that you trusted. It's someone that is nice, that is well liked. And if there's one thing that book, Why Does He Do That?, which is a book about different types of abusive men, you know, a lot of men, a lot of abusers, especially in relationships, you know, which is kind of what the book's about, you know, your partner or a partner, you know, it's like the neighbors would say, oh no, he's such a great guy. Friends of the couple would say, oh no, he's so great, he's so charming, he's so sweet. And that's why it just adds another layer of, like, making it so hard for victims to come out and speak out. And if they do speak out, to be heard and to be trusted, I guess. It's like, oh, you're just jealous. You just want to see his downfall. You're just mad you didn't get more clout. Like, and it's like this fucking traumatic thing happened to this person or this girl or whoever. And it's like immediately everyone's, like, so quick to defend their friend. So I wish there was just better class. Like, always comes down to fucking, I wish there was better education about consent and about what consent is. And pretty much if it's not an enthusiastic yes, don't do it. You know, I think a lot of men would be shocked and surprised to know how many times they've committed that and how many times their friends have. Because it's not, again, it's not like you have to be this, like, ultimate villain that everyone would look at and be like, oh yeah, he's a bad guy. that's not the reality of it. It's like, it's your fucking bro Chad who's like pressuring girls to take more shots because he wants to convince them to like sleep with him later on. You know, it's like, it looks like so many different things, and I feel like so much of it is normalized, even to the point where, like, personally, you know, after just learning so much more about this, you know, throughout the years, as, you know, using the fucking internet as my education, because I wasn't taught any of this in sex ed, and then also I think just with time passing from different experiences and whatnot, it's like, you kind of realize, like, oh, that actually was that. Like, this experience I had that I was just like, oh, I felt kind of awkward about, or like uncomfortable about, didn't want to talk about. It's like, yeah, you felt that way because it was this. And it's just crazy how much like victim blaming is, you know, a part of it. And like, we do it to ourselves. Like, if a guy pressures us, it's like if a guy pressures us, like asks us until we finally say yes or whatever, it's like, we'll look back on it and just think like, wow, I should have said no. Like, I should have been stronger. I should have not fallen for that. I should have like left. I should have done this. I should have done that. And it's like, still, we are taking so much of the blame. And like, I feel like so often we feel regret instead of like pure anger towards them. Like, I feel like that can be part of it, but I feel like it's like, first we blame ourselves. First we like ask ourselves, what could I have done differently to avoid that situation? And it's just really disappointing, if anything, like, to put it fucking lightly as fuck, but it's like, I'm not even shocked, because it's like, of course, you know, you have these fucking little bros who are fucking famous at a young age, making so much money and getting these sponsors by these big brands, and, you know, all these girls are fans of them. They have so many fucking fans. They're working with celebrities. Of course, they're gonna fucking think they're invincible, because that's what society rewards. So, of course, I'm not surprised that they're like trying to defend each other and like, oh no, like, we would never do that. Like, oh, he would never do that. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. It's like, you guys are actually exactly the problem, and all of these things are like exactly the patterns that we keep seeing, you know? It's like, any time, dude, a fucking perfect example, Shia LaBeouf. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the FKA Twigs interview, but literally a fucking, what was that, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point? Remember when everyone was gassing him the fuck up on Twitter? Like, this is my favorite white boy. I love him. He's so fine. Like, all the things when he had that photo shoot with, I forget, but I feel like it was like maybe a black and white photo shoot or something. He had his shirt off. Like, everyone was fucking thirsting over him. Like, they're like, oh my God, we love him. And then he's like this horrible, abusive person. Perfect example. Oh my God. It's like, how do you think these people get away with it? How do you think these men get away with all that they do? It's because they don't seem like it. Like, what's the classic fucking saying? Like, the devil is not going to show up on your doorstep looking like the devil. And, you know, just, dude, everyone needs to fucking read that book. Why does he do that? It's so fucking eye-opening. And it's just crazy, like, so much of this is normalized. And no matter how many little infographics we see and post, and how many threads and how many articles and how many celebrities are exposed, it's like, people are still gonna fucking victim blame at the end of the day, and like defend their favorite celebrity or defend their fucking bros or whatever. And it's just like horrifying and disgusting. Wow, this was like a real rant. But it's just like, it really makes me not want to fuck with any man ever again, because it's like, I don't know. Someone would have to be so cool. I feel like it's always, not always, but I don't know. It's like, you can think someone is so cool and like charming and wow, they're just so confident. They really know how to talk to people. Like, everyone says that they're so great for me, and then they're like actually the most evil person you've ever met. It ends up being after many a time. And I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like, I want to say annoying. I know there's a better word, but it's frustrating to keep having this conversation because it's like, okay, what real changes have been made? You know, like, I'm sick of just thinking the same thing over and over. Like, as soon as something happens to, you know, like, someone that I know or someone out in the world that, like, you hear about, it's like you just think the same thing. Wow, that sucks that we victim blame in this society. Wow, it really fucking be like that. When are we going to hold these men accountable? When are men going to stand up for the victims and not protect their abusive friends? And also with the whole David thing, it's like his little group, I just keep hearing over and over, like, he's not that kind of person. He would never do that. And it's like, yeah, obviously you're his friend. He's not going to treat you like that. But if he can use someone, and this goes for like any man who fits that archetype, you know, any like man in an abusive relationship. Again, it's like all the people around you are going to say, oh, well, he doesn't seem like he would do that. He's actually a very nice guy. You know, he helps us out. He helped us take our groceries in. He did this. He did that. Oh, it's like all of those things can still be true while this is true. Just because you had a good experience with someone doesn't mean that's how they treat everybody. It's like fucking guys who are like, I respect women, and then they only, not even respect, they only are nice to women who they're attracted to. It's just horrifying. But then again, it's like, I also feel so numb to it because it's just like, we keep hearing the same shit over and over. It's always the fucking same story. So if y'all have any, like, what the fuck do we do's, LMK, but I really think there needs to be, I guess, like, better support for victims. And I think more action needs to be taken against, you know, these predators and abusive men, because it's like, you know, especially with this vlog, like this little threesome vlog that David posted, like that was posted years ago. Again, I think it was in 2018, but it's like YouTube just allowed that to be up. They didn't do anything. So it's like the brands and the companies need to also take action, but of course they're not, because this person has like millions and millions of subscribers, so they're gonna lose money if they do that. So why do that? Just brush it under the rug, like, oh, whatever, at least we're getting paid. Horrifying and disgusting. So I wish, again, it's like I wish I had something to say that was like uplifting or like, well, anyway, like all this happened, but good news. Like, no, it's just like, I'm disgusted. If you have anything enlightening to say, LMK, but hold your fucking friends accountable. Don't be friends with dudes who do that. If you ever need to talk, bitch, I'm fucking here. I'm not a fucking therapist or anything, but if you need a friend. Yeah, so I think that's all I'm going to discuss today. Hopefully by the time this is out, there's been like more. Hopefully some of these dudes face some fucking consequences. And yeah. Anyway, love you guys so much. Fuck these fucking assholes. And I feel like this is like, I feel like I'm ending this so abruptly, but rant over. Like, there's really nothing more I can say. Love you guys. Stay safe out there. Get your fucking pepper spray and weapons. And I'll see you guys next time.